Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel, English Podcast with Subtitle Deep Dive. My name is Anna.
And I am Jay. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey, TikTok fam. Did you know we're on YouTube too?
Yep, if you watch videos on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We post full English lessons, tips, and practice videos there first, before they come here.
And if you hit the notification bell, you'll always be the first to know when something new drops. Check the link in our bio and join us on YouTube. Let's keep learning together.
We've got some really interesting material from you this week, all kind of pointing towards one big idea, especially if you're tackling something like, say, getting better at English.
Yeah, it's this idea of consistency, doing little things regularly.
Exactly. And the sources you sent really hammer home that these small, steady actions, they often beat those big, splashy efforts you might only manage once in a while.
Right. So today we're going to really dive into that. What is consistency, actually? Why is it such a powerful tool for growth? And crucially, how can you build it into your life, especially for learning English?
Because we get it. It's tough when you feel stuck, isn't it? Like you're putting in the work but not seeing those quick results you hope for.
It's really common to feel discouraged. So our aim here is to unpack this using your sources and give you some solid practical ideas.
Okay, so first things first. Defining consistency. What's the core idea coming through in the material?
Well, in simple terms, it's just showing up, doing something again and again over time without stopping for long periods.
Right.
And what's really key, based on what you shared, is that it's not about being perfect every single time.
Ah, okay. That's important.
Yeah, it's more about the commitment. Sticking with it even when you're tired, or maybe just not feeling it that day.
Like one source mentioned listening to an English podcast. Just once. Nice, maybe. But listening for just, say, 10 minutes every day, that's where the real learning kicks in over the long haul.
Exactly. That constant exposure makes a huge difference. It's like push-ups. Trying to do 100 right off the bat. Probably not going to happen or you'll hurt yourself.
Right.
But 10 push-ups every day. Over time, that builds real strength. It's the same principle.
We're studying for a test. We've all tried cramming, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Stressful, and you forget most of it pretty quick.
But those short, regular study sessions, that's how stuff actually sticks in your brain.
Precisely. There was a great analogy in one piece about water drops filling a glass. Each drop seems tiny, insignificant almost.
But they add up.
They add up. Consistently add those drops, and eventually that glass gets full.
Okay, so we see what it is, but why? Why is this steady drip, drip, drip approach so much more powerful than, turning on the fire hose once a month, especially for something like English learning?
Well, a big reason highlighted in your sources is simply that learning, real deep learning, takes time. There aren't many shortcuts for things like fluency. Consistency is what powers you through that time. It's absolutely fundamental for building habits. When you do something regularly, you're basically training your brain.
How so?
You're making it easier, more automatic, less of a battle each time. Your brain starts to expect it, maybe even anticipates it. One article even mentioned how it strengthens neural pathways, makes the task physically easier for your brain over time.
That's fascinating. So it actually rewires things slightly.
In a way, yes. And the sources also suggest it builds other really useful qualities, like focus and patience.
Patience is a big one, isn't it? We all want results yesterday.
We do. But consistency helps cultivate that longer view. You start to trust that the small steps are leading somewhere, even if you can't see the destination yet.
Okay.
Plus, think about routine. When something becomes a habit, it takes less mental energy, right? You just sort of do it. Less decision fatigue. It reduces stress in that way.
Like a train getting started. Takes effort initially, but once it's moving.
Exactly. It builds its own momentum.
There was this great point in the materials about the cumulative effect. Like, learning just a few English words each day seems so small.
Almost trivial, maybe. But let's do the math, like one source did. 5 new words a day. Doesn't sound like much, does it?
Yeah, really.
But 5 words a day is 35 words a week. Over 150 a month in a year. That's over 1,800 words.
Wow. Okay, when you put it like that.
Right. That's a massive vocabulary boost from a tiny daily action. And this is where many people stumble, according to your sources. They want those big, fast results.
Yeah, the instant gratification thing.
Exactly. They try hard for a week, don't feel fluent yet, and then stop.
Yeah,
They think it's not working.
When really the seeds are just starting to sprout.
Precisely. Success isn't usually one giant leap. It's all those little steps taken consistently day after day. And when it becomes a habit, you keep making progress even when you're not feeling super motivated.
Ah, okay, that's a perfect segue. Consistency versus motivation. Your sources really drew a line between these two. What stood out to you there?
Well, motivation is great when you have it, right?
Mhm.
But it's fickle.
Like the weather. Sunny one day, pouring rain the next.
Exactly. It comes and goes. You can't build a long-term plan purely on motivation. Consistency, though, that's your reliable engine.
It's what keeps you going when the motivation tank is empty.
That's the core idea. Think about brushing your teeth. One article used this example. You don't wake up feeling passionate about toothbrushing,
Definitely not.
but you do it anyway. It's a consistent habit, totally separate from motivation.
It's just automatic, part of the routine.
And that's the goal for learning habits, too. There was that story in One Piece about the busy guy, remember? Improved his English just by listening to short lessons during his commute. Every day.
Yeah, like 10 minutes or something.
Something really small like that. But he stuck with it. And over time, it made a huge difference. It really shows that just showing up regularly is way more powerful than waiting for inspiration to strike for some massive study session.
Okay, so we've established what it is, why it's powerful, how it differs from motivation. Let's talk benefits. What are the concrete wins you get from being consistent based on the materials you looked at?
Well, the most obvious one for you is skill improvement. Listening, vocabulary, speaking confidence. Whatever you're working on in English, that daily, consistent practice chips away at it.
Slowly but surely.
Exactly. Like a musician practicing scales. It might seem boring, but it builds fundamental skill.
Or someone nervous about speaking. Just practicing saying things out loud, even to themselves, consistently. That makes it less scary over time.
Absolutely. That consistent exposure builds confidence and reduces anxiety. And beyond the English skills themselves, consistency builds discipline.
Ah, right. The ability to make yourself do something.
Yeah. Managing your time, staying focused, even when you don't feel like it. That ability to say, okay, I'm tired, but I'm still doing my 10 minutes of vocab, that's huge. And it spills over into other parts of life.
And I imagine that discipline feeds back into confidence.
Totally. Every time you stick to your plan, you prove to yourself you can do it. You build self-trust. That makes you more willing to try harder things later on.
Makes sense. And the sources mention broader life impacts, too.
Yeah, things like health habits. Consistent daily walks often achieve more than occasional intense gym sessions. Relationships too small. Consistent acts of kindness build stronger bonds than grand gestures once a year.
So the principle applies everywhere.
It really does. But for language learning, that repeated exposure, hearing it, reading it, using it, even just thinking in it, is just critical. Consistency delivers that exposure.
Okay, this is all making perfect sense. The power is clear. Now, for the really practical part. How do you actually become more consistent with English learning? What tips came through strongly?
Number one, echoed across almost all your sources.
Mm-hmm.
Start small. Really small.
Smaller than you think.
Probably. 5 or 10 minutes a day is way better than aiming for an hour and then quitting after 3 days because it feels overwhelming.
Okay, make it almost too easy to fail.
Exactly. And try linking it to something you already do every day. Like listen to English while you make coffee, review flashcards right before bed, attach the new habit to an existing one.
That piggybacking technique reduces friction.
It does. The next big tip was make a plan. Doesn't have to be complicated. Just decide when and what you'll do each day or week.
Gives it structure.
Right. And ideally, try to do it at the same time each day. That helps build the routine, makes it more automatic, like we said about brushing your teeth.
Removes the daily decision-making burden.
Precisely. Then minimize distractions. Find a quiet place. Turn off the phone notifications. Even 15 minutes of focused work is better than an hour of half-hearted effort with constant interruptions.
Quality over quantity.
Definitely. And track your progress. This came up a lot. Use a calendar, a notebook, an app. Whatever works for you. Just mark off each day you do your practice.
Seeing that chain grow is motivating, isn't it?
Hugely. You don't break the chain, and don't beat yourself up if you miss a day. It happens, just start again the next day. The key is not letting one missed day turn into 2, then a week.
Get right back on track.
Exactly. And maybe reward yourself sometimes. Small rewards for hitting milestones, like a week of consistent practice.
Nice.
And finally, consider finding a partner or group. Learning with others adds accountability and support. Language exchange partner, online forum, whatever.
Makes it less lonely and keeps you going.
Definitely. And through all this, the sources emphasized being kind to yourself. Except that some days will be better than others. Progress isn't always linear. Just keep showing up.
Okay, those are some really solid, actionable tips. But what about challenges? People inevitably face hurdles, right? Boredom, tiredness.
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
sources acknowledge those. For boredom, the advice was generally to mix things up a bit within your routine. Try a different type of podcast, watch a short video instead of reading, find a new person to practice speaking with. Keep the core habit, but vary the specifics.
Keep it fresh.
Exactly. For tiredness or low energy, listen to your body, definitely. But maybe aim for just the absolute minimum. Even 5 minutes counts. Don't let tiredness be an excuse to do nothing, unless you're genuinely ill, of course.
Small step is better than no step.
Right. Distractions we mentioned create that focused space and time. And the big one, wanting to give up.
Yeah, that feeling when it just seems too hard or too slow.
When that hits, the advice is to reconnect with your why. Why did you start learning English? Remind yourself of your goals. Make the next task really easy. Celebrate the tiny progress you have made. Talk to your learning partner or group. And just restart. It's okay to stumble.
Challenges are normal, basically, part of the process.
Absolutely. Expect them and have a plan for how you'll respond.
So to really solidify this, maybe we could recap those core strategies for building consistency.
Sure. Number 1, start ridiculously small. Number 2, build a routine, ideally linking it to an existing habit at the same time each day. 3, track your progress visually. Don't break the chain. 4, reward yourself. 5, practice daily, even if it's brief. And 6, focus on just showing up.
That's a great summary. Now, there was a really inspiring story in one of the articles about someone named Omar.
Ah, yes. Omar's story is a fantastic illustration of everything we've discussed. He wanted to learn English, but felt it was too difficult. Maybe he was too old, the usual doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Someone suggested he just commit to 5 minutes, only 5 minutes of practice every single day. He was skeptical, apparently.
5 minutes seems like nothing.
Exactly. But he decided to try it. He stuck to that tiny habit, listened to something, repeated phrases. Just 5 minutes. And slowly, gradually. Well, 5 minutes started to feel easy. Sometimes he'd naturally go for 7, then 10. He started understanding more, feeling a tiny bit more confident. His secret wasn't speed, it was just not stopping.
That consistency.
Day after day. After several months, the progress was noticeable. He understood conversations better, started trying to speak more, eventually joined a class, started helping other beginners.
Wow, from just 5 minutes a day initially.
Yep. And the end result. He got a job at a travel agency where he needed to use English daily, all because he started small and stayed consistent.
That really brings it home. It's not about massive, heroic efforts. It's about those small, repeated actions.
Exactly. And you listening can achieve similar results. It's possible.
So, thinking specifically about you, our listener learning English, what are the final key takeaways or advice from these sources?
Practice daily. Aim for maybe 15-30 minutes as a sustainable goal, but start smaller if needed. Keep it simple. Listen to something you enjoy. Write one sentence about your day. Say some phrases out loud.
Don't overcomplicate it.
No. And don't stop because you make mistakes. Mistakes are how you learn. Expect them. Learn from them. Keep going.
That's crucial. Fear of mistakes holds so many back.
It does. Also, try not to compare yourself constantly to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your progress, however small. And be kind to yourself. Enjoy the journey as much as you can.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the message seems incredibly clear from all the material you sent. Results come slowly, but they do come with consistency.
Absolutely. Think back to Omar, or that seed analogy. You water it consistently, even when you don't see immediate growth. Trust the process.
Don't get discouraged by slow progress. It's a journey.
Exactly. Focus on your own path. Celebrate the small wins. It's tempting to want instant results, especially today, but language learning takes time and patience. And that's okay.
And if you feel like quitting,
Reconnect with your why. Why are you doing this? Let that motivate your consistency. Keep going, especially when it feels tough. That's often when the real growth happens.
and remember that, quote, one article shared, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out.
That really captures it, doesn't it? Those daily small actions build something truly significant over time.
So stay consistent. Believe you can do it.
You absolutely can.
We really hope this deep dive into consistency based on your fantastic source material has been helpful. Remember, it's not about perfection, just persistence. Keep showing up.
Keep putting in that little bit of effort day after day.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll be back with more insights soon. Keep up the great work, stay consistent, and you've definitely got this.